Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is, what is today? December the 22nd, 2020. Strong hand. Only the beginning. Don't FOMO on alts. I think you know that after today. Buying over crying. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. This game is not rigged. Compete, don't complain. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Remember that. Be in motion, 5-digit realm, offended by selling. Hello, my elite friends. Do you have questions? You always have questions. I have answers. Type in BitcoinMeister in the chat or do a super chat. And yes, we are one day closer to $1 trillion market cap. All right. Watch yesterday's show. Andy Hoffman was on. A lot of you are like, oh, I didn't know Andy Hoffman. I thought he was missing. Guys, he was on my show like in September and like 3 months before that. So many of you are algorithm slaves. It's unbelievable. And it's pathetic if you thought Andy Hoffman like had disappeared. He's on Twitter every day. Really, I mean, I'm sorry if you thought that was like his first appearance in years. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing that you thought that. You're an algorithm slave. But for those of you or not who enjoyed it, yesterday he was on the show. It was a great show. Now, remember, proud people can't be controlled. So you should be proud of Bitcoin's price. You should be proud and shouting it to the rooftops that you've got a good amount of Bitcoin and it's gone up a lot in price. What's wrong with price? Well, there's price shaming going on, okay? Price shaming from these SJW types in the crypto space. And they're welcome to be here. They're welcome to bring their traditional ways of guilting people and not being proud of success into this space. But I'm going to call it out, baby. And I'm going to call out this price shaming that I saw on Twitter. I'm not linking it to below because I'm not giving this guy any credit. It's sad that it's all about the price now, though, isn't it? Bitcoin was supposed to give the unbanked and underprivileged access to the global economy. Actually, it's not sad at all. I'm quite proud of what Bitcoin is for me as an individual, okay? You're talking about groups, these nebulous, unbanked victims of the world who, because the price is so high, they're still crying somewhere in some dirt slum or whatever. No, Bitcoin is supposed to be about whatever you as an individual want it to be, not some collectivist cure-all for these nebulous groups that you've got out there. Okay, dude? Okay? Using your little price shaming on the poor people. Oh, the poor people, they can't afford it. Nothing is stopping the so-called underprivileged individuals and unbanked from protecting their wealth in Bitcoin when it's $23,000. Okay, there's nothing stopping them. And some of them who are not crying like you, we're buying and we're in motion and are actually a lot wealthier than people who come up with this FUD guilt price shaming stuff. Okay, so be proud. Proud people cannot be controlled. Pound that like button. But yeah, the price. You know you're doing something right when the price shamers are coming out. All right. And unbanked people can still be banked, and underprivileged people can still fix their predicaments with Bitcoin at the price it's at right now. Don't get into this the mindset unit bias stuff. Okay, like yeah, one Bitcoin costs $23,000. Some poor person can buy a 0.01. Okay, and they'll be in great shape eventually. You just long-term thinking. But anyway, the default is collectivism. People like to say, well, this group won't benefit this. No, individuals make up each one of these groups. And individuals had a chance for years and years to get into this thing, okay? And speaking of rants, that was a little mini rant, linked to below is a clip from last Wednesday, the all-time high $20,000, the first time it got over 20,000, whatever you want to call that day, okay? Because here in this space, on this channel, we know another day, another freaking all-time high, baby. All right, but I made a clip, a 2-minute clip on Twitter that is doing really well. People are retweeting it, of my rant from Wednesday, okay? when I'm talking about all the lazy people, all the complainers, all the criers who did not buy, and how we, the ones who had strong hands through all of this, should be happy and should point out, hey, you don't want to be like the compliant bootlickers that are out there. All right, and yeah, remember, I kept telling you guys 5-digit round, and just getting you into that mindset, even when it would go back into the 4-digit realm. And now look, you are really living in the 5-digit realm right now. We are living in America, living in the 5-digit realm. All right, yeah. Okay, 1980s music. Now, so retweet that tweet of mine. I linked to it below. Not everything's linked to below yet, but that's out there. We're going to talk about the Ripple thing in a second, all right? But pound that like button first of all, and follow me on TechBalt. I'm TechBalt on Twitter, and I, of course, CoinBeast. I'm doing their TikTok stuff. That is linked to below. The latest one is like 12 seconds. This TikTok stuff, we're reaching out to a new group of people. So go to it and pound that like button for that too. There's a like button on whatchamacallit, TikTok. So someone said the following, replied to one of my retweets, I think. And when I retweeted about Ripple, they said, bad news for cryptos. Bad news for cryptos? What? It's bad news what happened to Ripple? Is it bad news it's bad news for Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. No, it's not bad news at all for Bitcoin. Has nothing. Ripple is not Bitcoin. Ripple is people were trying to FUD Bitcoin with like what happened to Ripple with the SEC. Okay, no, it's not connected at all. In fact, good things could happen now. If you're, I don't know why anyone would want to hold Ripple right now. You should be selling your Ripple for Bitcoin right now. I don't get it. But no, bad news for cryptos? No. I mean, it's bad news for Ripple, but for the general cryptocurrency space, it's a centralized, pre-mined digital currency. It's so. I mean, if you couldn't wrap around, if you couldn't figure out beforehand that Ripple is a totally different beast than mined coins, then yeah, maybe now you'll learn. I don't know. Probably not. So here's a tweet from Coin Guy. You called it. When you know who to sue, it ain't decentralized. So yeah, Ripple got sued. So how can it be decentralized? I mean, it's centralized. And I'm jumping around here a little bit. Sorry about that. Let's go back to Ripple. And yeah, it's not a scam. I'm no fan of it, but it's not a scam. It's a company that printed its own money. All right. And I don't think any logical person should gamble on it, but I believe Facebook should be able to print their own money. Anyone should be able to print their own money. Let the market decide. I'm not into being a tattletale to the SEC and getting some revenge through the government. I don't like that at all. I don't like, but it's not a scam because it's real. It's out there. You can buy it. It's a currency, a cryptocurrency, a digital currency of a company, and they did not follow the SEC rules. Okay, they didn't follow the SEC rules. Hey, GK just sent $4.99. Thank you, dude. And Bitcoin, Richie DK said, where do you buy your shirts, dude? I don't buy any of my shirts. They're all given to me, and they're linked to below, but you could buy them at the places that are linked to below. This is from Satoshi Corner, I think, or something. It's linked to below. Just read the notes. Read the notes. But no, I don't buy any of these t-shirts. They're given to me, so just wear them. That's another thing. The rich get richer, baby. I just keep getting free t-shirts. I love it. Pound that like button now. But you can buy them. There's discount codes below. And I'm going to wear a new shirt tomorrow from CoinBeast. Debuting the CoinBeast shirts tomorrow. Just got them. Got them. All right. So let's go. Sorry. Let's go back to Ripple. Play this at 2x, people. Play this at 2x. So yeah, I'm sticking with my principles here. Okay, my principles. Anyone should be able to print their own money. Okay, even if it's someone I don't like. And the Ripple army, the Ripple people, it's so mindless, and the lies they tell that it's just as good as Bitcoin, blah 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 blah. There's a lot of people that get fooled by it, but hey, they should do their own research, okay? And there's unit bias and this, that, and the other. And the price of Ripple went down after this. I'm shocked. It should have went down more. I don't know why. The thing is, I guess what the market is saying is, yeah, they might lose to the SEC. They're going to have to pay a fine, but they'll continue on afterwards. Okay, I don't care. I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be destroyed. I don't think they should be destroyed. But there's a lot of options out there. But you can still, people treat this, the Bitcoin Inquisition people, like if they heard me say this, I mean, they send me straight off to the Inquisition. How can you even say anything that's not incredibly negative about Ripple? No, I have principles. Anyone should be able to print let them do that. It's not a scam. It is real. It is a real thing that the people, they can do things with it. I don't think it's very useful what you can do with it. And, it's for the banks. Okay, it's for the banks, but no banks use it. Okay, but so let's go. $22 billion about to move to Bitcoin. Ripple panic sellers might want a safe haven. Well, they should want a safe haven. But he's referring to that Ripple was worth $22 billion, unbelievably, and that it should flow to Bitcoin. But there's a lot of young people, a lot of people that just don't think logically in the space, and most people are irrational most of the time, and it's an irrational buy, but that's the way of the world. And you don't have to be irrational. You could be in Bitcoin and Bitcoin overlay and buy Bitcoin, and just watch with popcorn what happens with the SEC taking on Ripple and the guys over there. And Surfer Jim summed it up very nicely, and I retweeted this, and it will be linked to below. You can just go to Surfer Jim W on Twitter if you're watching this live, but I will link to it below. The SEC is not okay. Oh wait, where's Jim? You know what? I didn't. Where's God Almighty? I didn't write down Jim's. He had a really good line. I'm going to just do this right now, actually live. I don't usually type in a new thing on my URL. Okay, so Surfer Jim said, seemingly unpopular opinion, Ripple should be allowed to push any scam token they want. Compete, don't complain, right, TechBalt? Yes. Cheering for state-sponsored violence to shut them down goes against the Bitcoin ethos, in my humble opinion. Well, yeah, you've got. I agree with you there, man. I agree. I mean, I'm not going to call it a scam. And I just linked to in the live chat there. You can watch Andy on the show yesterday. Just threw that in there randomly. I'm jumping all over my nose. Now, Tone Vase said, and he's going to say something different than Jim, but I mean, I can still. They're both. I enjoy both of them. The SEC is not attacking crypto this time. Okay, I agree with that. And we are not in this together. Ripple is a centralized securities scam, and anyone not invested in XRP or bribed by Ripple knows it. If SEC enforcement can prove its case, XRP should be delisted from all crypto exchanges. Can't wait. Okay, so that is one outcome. It could be delisted from all crypto exchanges. And since that is a possible outcome, I don't really know, and I don't think that's likely, but I think they're just going to pay the fine. It'll be a huge fine, and they'll pay it, and they'll still be printing money over there, and Brad, whatever the dude's name is, will still be doing pretty well for himself. So, I mean, whatever. I don't let him do well for himself. That's fine. I don't care. I'm doing well for myself over here. But, so I don't know why anyone would be buying and not selling it now. When it could get delisted from the big exchanges, the regulated ones definitely, and so here the great Nick Carter, I believe, said this one: how to not get sued by the SEC. Don't sell over $1 billion worth of unregistered securities to a global audience of retail investors with no disclosure for years. There is no step 2. Now he is pointing out the obvious. It was blatantly obvious that they printed their own money and then they sold it themselves, okay? And they did it a few times. And that is not, when you're so big like them and you're based in the United States and you're an American, you're gonna get hit, man. It's just a matter of time, okay? You're tempting fate. It's centralized. You could be sued. Bitcoin can't be. But with that in mind, what's going to happen to Hex? I mean, isn't it so similar? Isn't it so? A guy printed up some a token, and then he sold it for Ethereum. I mean, his excuse is, well, the Ethereum is being sent to an address that I don't control. Blah 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 blah. So I mean, he complicated it a little bit more than Ripple, but I don't really see that big of a difference at all. It's like, but he's in Europe, I guess. The Ego Coin guy is in Europe, so maybe he can avoid. And I don't want anyone going after him. I don't, let them do their crazy things. But when you're doing your crazy things, crazy in terms of challenging the most powerful government in the history of the world, when you're doing something like that, and you're centralized, and you could be like physically removed from wherever you are, it's. You're really tempting fate. You're really, and he could have created, Ripple could have been created, and Hex could have been created without directly selling it by them. Okay, they didn't, but that's what they did, and so now the consequences. So I don't know what will happen to. But I'm just pointing out to the people that like that Ego Coin. Like, look what's happening to Ripple. You might be next. And again, Ego Coin guy is in Europe, so I would advise him to stay there, never to return to the United States, or he's going to get. I mean, you could really get physically taken out if you come here by the government. They probably have taken notice of him at this point. I would assume. So I don't wish anything. The government, just like what Jim said. I don't wish that on Hex or anything. I don't want destruction and government power. Just locking people in cages. I'm no fan of that. All right, returning. We're going to talk about Molyneux in a second, but I do want to say that Alex Berenson, who has talked about the virus situation quite a bit, and I agree with him quite a bit. And he's going to be on Joe Rogan today, and there's just a link to Alex below. And I think it'll probably be he said, very excited to report I'm going to be, he's going to be on Joe Rogan. Okay, so it's linked to below. Chat, I follow him, and I guess he'll link out when he's on I think that'll be a good episode. So that was a little bit of Beyond Bitcoin right there. Okay, no, we're not going to talk about that. So I talked about my rant. Please retweet that. I'm going to go back and see if there are questions here, because we're going to talk about Stefan Molyneux clickbait in a second that he had out there that was quite embarrassing. All right, no one else following the directions properly and typing in BitcoinMeister. It is amazing how some people just cannot follow directions. Just so impulsive and just like just unbelievable. That's why people remain 80%ers when they can't. So, all right, moving on. Now, Stefan Molyneux has I was doing, I am not an algorithm slave. I go to BitChute every day for various reasons. So I went to check out Stefan Molyneux on BitChute, because that's the only that's the only place you can watch him, okay? And, oh my, I see his latest video. It's titled, Crypto Deplatforming is Coming. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. I'm like, this isn't going to be good, is it, man? This is really, I could tell from the minute I read it, it's total clickbait. So he claims that the proposed rules out there, and he only talks about it like for the first minute of the show, and that's it. And he's a really smart guy. So either he's a little confused, or he just really wants people to watch him and wants attention. And smart people can get confused. There's no doubt about that. But he's saying that the government proposed regulations are to make sure that people like him you're deplatformed. That YouTube and all the big tech, they're the ones pushing this, because if these regulations go into effect, then people that are not on the main platforms are not going to be able to raise Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, okay? And that's wrong. this was not pushed by deplatformers because it's so, if you control your Trezor, okay, if you're the one asking, or control your private key, if you control your private key and you're asking for the Bitcoin, okay, or if you are sending the Bitcoin, these regulations have nothing to do with you at all. All right, if you're sending from a third, and will in the end of the day, even if you're sending from Coinbase, let's say, and then you say, I am sending it to this person that's deplatformed, I mean, is that person going to be high on the list of Coinbase? We can't send it to them. I mean, probably not very high on the list. Now, you can see how Coinbase could have a list of people that you're not allowed to contribute to. Okay, sure, but if you're on Coinbase and you want to send to somebody like Molyneux, it's really simple. You send it to your Trezor, or you send it to some place where you control your private key, and then you send it to him. And if he doesn't control his own private key, that's their fault. Okay, that's his fault. So, YouTube is not behind this proposed legislation. It won't stop anyone who controls their private key. People will not be financially deplatformed because of this. Okay. And they can constantly change their Bitcoin address that they put up there too, if they're put on a new list. All right, so it's. I mean, there's something else I said here about PayPal, but okay. Yeah. If already, if you're a PayPal type of person, you can't send it to anyone. So. He's talking about deplatforming and big tech. No, that's it's clickbait. It's pretty embarrassing if you buy. And people were correcting him in the comments, including myself. All right, so just wanted to put that out there that when you're in motion on the alternative platforms, you even find wacky stuff like that. Now, Pierre Richard has a good tweet. Square should do a $10 billion convertible bond offering and buy Bitcoin with the proceeds. That's basically suggesting what Michael Saylor did. And yes, Square should do that. Everyone should do that. Other companies will do that, issuing bond offerings and just turning it straight into Bitcoin. Good. So let's talk more about that if they haven't heard of it yet. And yesterday, the Bitcoin price crashed into the 21,000s. And it's just like, dude, it does nothing. We're in the $20,000 realm now. So yeah, they're going to be down days. We have down days that are over $20,000 on the road to $1 trillion. Now, I want to give a shout out to Dennis he was on the This Week in Bitcoin show, linked to below, this past week. He was on it, and he just came out with an article at Bitcoin Magazine. 2020, we were right. The Bitcoin evangelists, plebes, cyber hornets, honey badgers, unique beasts. All right, dude. And everyone in between continue to educate world citizens on how to take back their sovereignty. Well, I love that you use the term unique beast, definitely. And it's great you're in motion. You were in motion this year. You're writing for Bitcoin Magazine because you were in motion. Thanks to the Coinbase IPO, the acquisition price of a bunch of crypto companies is about to go way higher. That is from Barry Silbert, and that is a good thing. Yes, it's awesome that crypto companies will become worth more. It will encourage other people to start crypto companies and enter the space. The Coinbase IPO a great chain reaction will start when it happens in 2021. Oh, am I excited about 2021? But of course, I'm excited about like everything. I'm like excited about eating this onion later, but that's me. I'm the unique beast. I am pretty excited dude. And it's all pure, baby. It's people, again, people love to bring up, what are you on? It's, I'm high on life, baby. And I'm going to go running 8 miles pretty soon. That's why I'm in a rush, as I always am in a rush at this time. Now, what else do we have? I'll get to your questions. Oh, my title of a recent article was How to Front Run Bitcoin, Michael Saylor. Okay, so that was last Saturday? And I was so right. I was, or whenever it was, He's the tipping point. He tipped his hand. He tipped his hand. He said, I am buying more and more. So you better buy more and more before he buys more and more. If you didn't, you missed. It's now over $20,000. So that was the truth right there. How to front run Bitcoin? Listen to what this dude is saying. He's about to buy a more of it, and the price zoomed up when he started buying more of it. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Like he was buying bunches of it, like every minute on average. Now going back to the Ripple topic, flashback from November 2016. This is from Raoul Paul. I'm warming to XRP, to be honest. I now have a basic understanding. I don't own it. I mean, is he serious? I mean, after what so now we've seen how it's played out. Did he really have a basic understanding? Did he understand the SEC would, eventually do something? And then does that make him warm to it? I mean, so this just shows you that, smart people, he's a smart guy. They can be wrong, and it takes time to fully understand the entire ecosystem, okay? And I just felt there's a lot of confusion, and maybe he's confused. There's a lot of confusion in cryptocurrency. If you just jump right in, now he's been in it for a while, but he can still have a confusion on certain aspects. And you need to really kind of focus a little bit more, jumping or just stick with the Bitcoin. I mean, it's cool. You wanted to learn something more about altcoins, I guess, and then you're warming to XRP. And now look, dude, that tweet doesn't look too pretty now, but hey, do what you do. Now, I dealt with a guy who's an Ivy League graduate, actually, and he bought Bitcoin a while ago, but he hasn't moved it off Coinbase, and I was advising him on how to move it off Coinbase. And he, a smart Ivy League graduate, was having some difficulty just moving it. He was actually moving to a Ballet Pro wallet. And, there was the BSV there, the Bcash there, and there was one point he was scared that he sent it to BSV instead of Bitcoin, and it's still early. It's still hard, dudes. The user interface with all the numbers and, getting to a point where you control your own private key. And that's what this Ivy League grad dude was doing, getting it off of Coinbase onto, and then you can rage against Bobby Lee as much as you want to. You could be a Bobby Lee hater. I think it's all envy. But the guy was moving it to a Ballet wallet, which is controlling your own private key. And it's not the easiest task. It is not, still, for an Ivy League grad, still. And he'd owned Bitcoin. He had, quote unquote, owned it for a while. But he had never sent it before. So I'm telling you, it's an Ivy League level skill if you can send Bitcoin. And then to store it, he had to learn how to store it. That's even harder. Remember my video from the summer, the 5 Bitcoin skills you need to be elite. Storing, selling, sending, splitting. I forgot them all now, okay? But it's still, you should be proud of yourself if you can send the Bitcoin. I'm serious. I'm really serious. And if you can store it, you control your own. This whole video has been about, controlling your own private key, with the FUD that Molyneux was spewing. If you control your own private key, you don't have to worry about such FUD and stuff. And on regulations, unconfiscatable type of aspects of Bitcoin. That's all about controlling your own private key, and it's hard to get into that position if you're an Ivy League grad. All right, so let me just quickly see if there are any questions. Nope, nobody. I don't see any BitcoinMeister out there in orange. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the DisruptMeister. Subscribe to the channel, pound that like button. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everybody. Retweet it and go to TikTok.